Hello, my name is Mario Balistreri, and I'm a transfer student from St. Vincent College, so I could pursue a career here at Carlo in nursing. During this short video, I'll be talking about what I learned about race and ethnicity from this activity, and how with the help of the video and the textbook, I developed a better understanding of race and ethnicity. I will also relate this to any other topics in Chapter 11 and how race can impact my future career as a nurse. Overall, I learned from these two activities that the interpretation of race has changed over the course of human history and that ethnicity are just certain values and norms within a culture, thus showing their cultural distinction. This activity relates to definitions in the textbook in many ways. The textbook definition of race are differences in human physical characteristics used to categorize large numbers of individuals. This is mentioned during the beginning of the video. Also mentioned in the book is that race is a classification system that assigns groups to categories. This is mentioned explicitly in the video on how race has taken on a more social role. First off, I learned a great deal of information from the video and on social construction of race. I learned about how race evolved from ancient times and the journey the word race took on through human history. In the ancient world, Augustus, for example, used skin color to group people. Today, we judge people categorically and then assign them to social roles based on those categories. Moreover, 18th century scientists believed that the climate impacted race. For example, if a person lived in a sunny climate and developed a darker skin tone, then those individuals' children would have a darker skin tone. After that, Europeans took on a different understanding to race during imperialism. They thought that race was the best way to organize a civilized society. Now, race is not based on biological factors, but rather social aspects. For example, the Burkamine race in Japan are the same genetically as Japanese, but are viewed inferior because of the feudal wars that took place many centuries ago. In the activity on pbs.org, I learned that the process of self identification proves to be important, where U.S. citizens are able to choose their own racial classification, which was not passed until 1970. Before this, census enumerators classified people into races by just looking at them. Even physical traits cross racial barriers, such as white people can have the same blood type as Hispanic people. Essentially, this makes our interpretation of race to be our own ideas and thoughts. However, we need race to track discrimination in our American society, so race proves to play a vital role in America today. Furthermore, an example of an institutional racism in society today would be that African Americans stay in prison up to 20% longer than white people, and they receive much harsher sentences for the same crimes. This is according to U.S. News. I learned that the three reasons for the rise of racism in the section of historical perspectives on race and ethnicity. One being that there's certain relations the Europeans established with people in America. These attitudes towards Africans influenced the people in America to act a certain way, which was negatively towards African Americans. The second is that white stands for purity and black stands for evil. These labels portrayed negative reactions toward African Americans. And lastly is the concept of race itself. It proves to be a negative word. Race and racism relates to nursing because nurses must follow a code of ethics. The Board of Nursing specifically states that nurses cannot discriminate against any patient or they will lose their license to practice. It would be revoked for a lifetime. A sociological perspective can add to my understanding about race in society for my future career because it would allow me to further understand the challenges a minority goes through on a daily basis. It would enhance my morals and values when I treat patients of minority race to understand the challenges they face, and it would provide a deeper appreciation. The entire concept of discrimination is something that will help me in my life. This shows me that I should advocate for equality and change, especially in my nursing career. Lastly, I would like to say thanks for watching this video. I hope you learned something on the impact on race and racism in America today.